From a garbled voice command to just a clumsy thumb swipe on your phone, the data we give our devices is, well, it's rarely perfect. So how on earth does technology make sense of all that mess and figure out what we really mean? Well, the answer is surprisingly powerful, and it all comes down to one single, tiny word.
Just think about it for a second. You're trying to send a text. Did your finger actually hit A, or was it the S right next to it? Or you're using voice to text. Did you just say you wanted a cashew, or did you, a chew? The data our devices get is almost never perfect. It's just full of noise and ambiguity. So how does your phone figure out what you actually want it to say?
The answer, and really the foundation of most modern statistics, is probability. It is hands down the best tool we have for dealing with uncertainty. It lets us weigh all the options and make a really solid, educated guess, which is exactly what your smart devices are doing millions of times a day without you even noticing.
Okay, so to really get how this works, we've got to start with the absolute basics, a simple coin flip. Each and every toss is a perfect example of what's called an independent event.
Now, because each coin flip is independent, meaning the last toss has zero effect on the next one, the math is surprisingly simple. We just multiply the probabilities together. So the chance of getting tails is 1 in 2. The chance of getting 2 tails in a row, that's just 1/2 times 1/2, or 1 in 4. 4 heads in a row, that's going to be 1 in 16. Simple, right? Okay, now let's see what happens when things get just a little more complicated.
All right, enough with the coin flips. Let's move on to our main event for today, the Great Nordic Lottery. The rules are super simple. One person is chosen, completely at random, from the entire population of all the Nordic countries.
So here's the data we're going to be working with. We've got the 5 Nordic countries, their total populations, and, this is going to be crucial later, the number of professional fishers in each one. Just take a look at those population numbers for a second. And this chart really makes the differences crystal clear, doesn't it? You can see right away that Sweden, with over 9.6 million people, is by far the biggest. The others are kind of clustered there in the middle, and then you've got Iceland all the way at the end.
So let's just pause here for a moment. With this information, and only this information, who do you think is the most likely winner of our lottery?
If you said Sweden, you are absolutely right. Based purely on population, a Swede has almost a 37% chance of winning. Norway, Finland, and Denmark are all kind of hanging out around 20%, and Iceland, well, poor Iceland is way down there at just over 1%. This is our starting point, right? This is our initial belief.
But then, just as we're about to mentally award the prize to someone from Sweden, we get a new clue.
And here it is. We are told, the winner is a fisher, and just like that, the entire game is changed. This brings us right to the core idea of this whole explainer. Updating our beliefs. This is the incredible power of being given new information. Now, this actually has a formal name. It's called conditional probability. And it's simply the probability of something happening, in our case, winning the lottery, given that another event, being a fisher, is already known to be true. That word given is the absolute key to everything.
So here's the crucial point. Our world just got a whole lot smaller. We are no longer picking from 26 million people. We are now only picking from the 21,711 people who are fishers in the Nordic countries. This is our new pool of possible winners.
And would you look at what happens to our odds? Sweden, our old frontrunner, has totally plummeted. And Norway, wow, Norway has shot up to an incredible 53.5% chance of being the winner's home country. And Iceland, which was barely even on the map before, is now in second place. It's a total reversal. Let's just put this side by side to really let it sink in. Before the clue, the probability of the winner being Norwegian was under 20%. But the probability of the winner being Norwegian, given they are a fisher, it's over 53%. That one little piece of information completely flipped the odds on their head.
So, why does any of this matter? I mean, what does a lottery about Nordic fishers have to do with your smartphone? Well, it turns out it has everything to do with it.
The logical process we just walked through, that is exactly what smart technology does, all day, every day. It starts with an initial probability, like what's the most likely letter you meant to type. Then it gets new data. What letter did you type next? And based on that new condition, it updates the probability to make a much better guess.
This constant process of updating beliefs is how your phone corrects your typos, right? It predicts the word you want given the letters you've already typed. It's how your voice assistant knows you said cashew and not a chew, by using all the other words in your sentence as clues. At its very core, this is how AI brings order to our messy, uncertain world, one clue at a time. And this leaves us with a final thought.
We just saw, pretty dramatically, how one new piece of data can completely overturn what seems like a certainty. In a world that is just overflowing with information, it kind of makes you wonder, right? What long-held belief of our own might be just one new clue away from being completely turned on its head?